Thinking about filing bankruptcy? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you the critical things you need to know before you file, the biggest mistakes that can completely mess up your case, and exactly what to expect during the entire process so you can get the best possible fresh start. Hi, I'm Mike Ziegler. For more than 13 years, my law firm has helped consumers in serious trouble with debt by defending collection lawsuits and assisting with Chapter 7 and Chapter 13 bankruptcy. I've seen people make simple mistakes that completely derail their cases. I've also seen people get incredible fresh starts when they do things the right way. Before we get into what you need to know, let me tell you about the biggest mistakes I see people make right before they file bankruptcy, because these can completely mess up your case. What are these mistakes? Here's an example. Let's say someone decides to pay their mom back the $5,000 they borrowed last year right before filing bankruptcy because they feel bad about it. The trustee sees this payment and can actually go after the mom to get that money back to distribute to all the creditors equally. Now the person has a family problem on top of their debt problem. Here's what you need to understand. Bankruptcy has strict rules about what you can do and what you can't do before filing. You can't just pay back your favorite creditors or give away assets to protect them. The trustee will look at every transaction you made in the months before filing. Don't do these things before you file. Don't pay back family or friends any significant amount of money. Don't transfer your car or house to someone else's name thinking you're protecting it. Don't max out credit cards buying things you think you need. Don't suddenly deposit large amounts of cash into your account. The general rule is this: keep everything status quo. Don't make any major financial moves without talking to a bankruptcy attorney first. What seems like a good idea to you might be exactly the wrong thing to do. Now let me help you understand which type of bankruptcy you should consider. Is it Chapter 7 or Chapter 13? Here's an example. Let's say two people each owe $50,000 in credit cards. Person A makes $40,000 a year and qualifies for Chapter 7. All of their debt gets wiped out in 4 months from when they file. Person B makes $80,000 a year and has to file Chapter 13. They pay back maybe $20,000 over 5 years, but the rest gets eliminated. Same debt, different solutions based on income. Here's how to know which one you qualify for. Chapter 7 is faster, about 4 months total from filing, and eliminates most debt completely. But you have to pass something called the means test, which looks at your income compared to the median. If you make too much money, you can't use Chapter 7. Chapter 13 takes longer, 3 to 5 years, but almost anyone can file it regardless of income. You can make monthly payments based on what you can afford, and whatever's left gets eliminated at the end in most cases. The key difference: Chapter 7 is like hitting a reset button. Chapter 13 is getting a court-approved payment plan that your creditors can't mess with. Now let me address the biggest fear that most people have about bankruptcy. Are you going to lose your assets? For example, let's say someone owns a house that's worth $200,000 with a $150,000 mortgage, so they have $50,000 in equity. They think bankruptcy means they lose their house. In Florida, the homestead exemption protects the equity in your primary residence. They keep the house and eliminate their other debts. Here's the truth about what you'll lose in bankruptcy. In Florida, you often won't lose anything. Florida has some of the strongest asset protection laws in the country. Your house is typically protected by the homestead exemption. Your car is protected by about $5,000 in equity, but there's always ways to protect more. The retirement accounts like 401ks and IRAs are usually completely protected. Your household goods, clothing, and personal items are usually protected. What might be at risk? Extra vehicles, vacation homes, expensive collections, large amounts of cash, but even then, there are often ways to protect these things if you plan properly. The bottom line is this: most people who file don't lose anything they care about keeping. So what actually happens when you file? Let me walk you through the process. Here's an example. Let's say someone files Chapter 7 on a Monday. Shortly after that, all the collection calls, wage garnishments stop, and the creditor harassment ends. About 30 days later, they attend a short Zoom meeting with the trustee. 4 months after filing, they get their discharge and all the debt's gone forever. Here's the step-by-step process. First, we gather all of your financial information and prepare the bankruptcy paperwork. You have to take a 1-hour online credit counseling class. We file your case with the federal court. Immediately when we file, something called the automatic stay goes into effect. This is a federal court order that stops all collection activity. No more phone calls, no more letters, no more lawsuits, no more garnishments. everything stops. About 30 days later, you'll attend what's called a 341 meeting or meeting of creditors. Don't let the name scare you. Creditors almost never show up. It's a short Zoom call with you, me, and a bankruptcy trustee. They'll ask you a few questions under oath about your paperwork. The whole thing takes about 5 minutes. After that, you take a second online course about financial management. Then you wait for your discharge, which usually comes about 4 months after filing. The discharge is the court order that says that your debts are eliminated. That's it. 4 months from start to finish average for most Chapter 7 cases. But here's what I want you to focus on. What happens after bankruptcy? What does your fresh start actually look like? Here's an example. Let's say someone eliminates $40,000 in credit card debt through Chapter 7. Now, instead of paying $1,200 a month in minimum payments, they can save that money. 2 years later, they might have $30,000 in savings and could have over 700 credit score. They're in a completely different financial position. Here's what happens to your credit. Yes, bankruptcy stays on your report for up to 7 to 10 years, but what most people don't realize is that you can start rebuilding immediately. Your debt to income ratio improves dramatically because you have no debt. You can get secured credit cards right away to start rebuilding. Most people see their credit scores in the 600s or higher within 12 to 24 months. You can qualify for a car loan pretty quickly, and many people can get a mortgage within 2 to 4 years. Compare this to struggling with debt for years, making minimum payments, and never getting ahead. Bankruptcy gives you a clean slate. What debt survives bankruptcy? Most credit cards, medical bills, and personal loans get eliminated, but student loans, recent taxes, child support, and criminal fines survive. We'll go over exactly what gets eliminated in your specific situation. The key to maximizing your fresh start: don't make the same mistakes that got you into debt in the first place. Build an emergency fund, live in your means, use credit carefully. Most importantly, don't wait too long to get help. The longer you struggle with debt that you can't handle, the worse your situation gets. If you're considering bankruptcy, you're probably past the point where other options will work. If you're in Florida and struggling with serious debt problems, don't try to figure this out on your own. Give us a call at 727-538-4188 for a free consultation. We'll look at your specific situation and help you understand all of your options, including whether bankruptcy is right for you. If you want to learn more in depth how the bankruptcy process works, make sure to watch this next video.